Venezuela also goes to the polls today. Its regional elections will indicate how much support President Nicolas Maduro has maintained. After almost 2 decades of Socialist Party rule, there is a chance the opposition could take majority of the state's 23 governorships. The elections were supposed to take place in December. They were postponed after opinion polls projected heavy losses for the ruling party, as Venezuelans endured soaring inflation and food and medical shortages. Let's get a little more on this story. We're joined by Miguel Tinker Salas, a professor of Latin American Studies at Panama College. Many thanks for joining us, Miguel. There were concerns previously about the fairness of the electoral process. Is that still a big issue this time round?
Well, the mere fact that the opposition has decided to participate underscores that they have some faith in the political system. And that's really the key issue here, because if we recall, 6 months ago, they were essentially boycotting the entire electoral process. They were engaged in street protests, trying to topple the government. So in many ways, since July 30th, with the election of the Constituent Assembly, the opposition parties, the mainstream opposition parties, have now opted to participate in this electoral arena. The lesson for them was 2005, when they did not participate. They boycotted and essentially handed complete power to the Chavez, or now Maduro, government.
There has been a big push by the opposition to get its supporters out to the polling booths to vote. How do you expect them to do?
Well, this is going to be a real test, because there was, as I said, some divisions within the opposition, with more far-right parties saying they would not participate, but the mainstream parties, Acción Democrática, Democratic Action, Unity parties, and others actually participating. There is a sense of disenfranchisement on the part of the opposition. Many of them no longer have any faith in the actual MUD, the MUD, which is the umbrella organization of the opposition. So it's going to really be a test for them, because this is really setting the stage for the presidential elections in 2018. The governorships are going to play a key role in how the elections for president take shape, with a view towards 2018, when they are actually taking place.
Briefly, Professor, talk us through some of the challenges that the people of Venezuela have been facing. We did see those protests where hundreds of people died, but underlying, there's the economy, there's been a food crisis. I mean, how tough are things in Venezuela?
They're very difficult, and for many people. Those who have access to dollars don't have a problem, but those who survive on bolívares, which is the national currency, have seen it devalued tremendously, have confronted inflation of upwards of 500, 600%, have found shortages for food, have also found shortages for medicine, have continued to deal with insecurity, violence, crime. So the conditions have been very, very severe. And in that sense, the economy has contracted. But also, that doesn't necessarily translate immediately into support for the opposition. If one is to believe the July 30th Constitutional Assembly, the government continued to have a significant amount of support. So this is really going to be the real test, the test between the time when the opposition claimed to have held a plebiscite and the government claimed to have held their Constituent Assembly. And these elections are being called by that Constituent Assembly, so that participation in this process, in many ways, is a de facto recognition of that Constituent Assembly, which continues to be the supreme body, political body in Venezuela.
Okay, many thanks for your analysis, Miguel Tinker Salas, Professor of Latin American Studies.